What's up, Spartans? This is JAG, aka Leonidas, and on today's video I'm going to be showing you tips on how to complete the 15-win minor draft challenge and how to win that new minor emote. So a couple things before we start. I went 15-0 in this challenge, and during the process I compiled a few tips and tricks that helped me get to to win that new minor emote. Now if you have passed Royale, you'll get unlimited free tries, so consider giving us White Names a pity win. Alright, so I have 5 short replays to show today. The first replay helps you know what certain cards to pick and how, like a general minor tip as well. The second replay is going to show you how to stop the minor pretty easily. And the third is about another mid-level minor tip. And the fourth and fifth replay are going to show more advanced minor tips and how to help you get a strong push using the minor. Now finally, let's start the replays. Alright, so here is the first replay. And there's a couple things that you're going to want to note when watching this. Is that the first thing is a lot of the times you're going to have a Royal Giant or minor choice. If you have the option between the two, take the Royal Giant. Another one is you're going to want to keep cards that are pocketed to kind of stop the minor. Those are going to be kind of lower elixir cards, around 3 or lower, and they're also going to be more of your mass troops. So for example, the guards are perfect. 3 elixirs, there's 3 of them. They're going to be able to stop the minor easily. Goblin Gang is another one. Goblins will work as well. But generally you want 3 elixir or lower for that. And make sure you got a win condition. So generally what I found is I didn't normally choose the minor unless I had some specific cards that went well with it. Like the Giant, for example. But if you get the option, like I said earlier, between the minor and the Royal Giant, take the Royal Giant. It worked well for me throughout the challenge. And I didn't have any regrets doing that. So in this case, you're going to actually see the tip upcoming, which is don't launch the minor at the tower solo. As you can see, I can stop him pretty quickly. He doesn't get much damage. And now not only that, you wasted 3 elixir to defend, and I'm going to get a counter push. So keep that in mind. If you're going to launch the minor, you're going to want it with another troop there, sending it alone solo tower. Unless the tower is about to be destroyed and it's getting near the end of the game or something like that, no point doing. So here's the second replay. And another couple of tips here. One of them is take the minion horde. Generally in drafts I'm kind of weary, but I didn't see too many fireballs, arrows, kind of thing like that. Minion horde's pretty strong. I was able to actually do pretty good damage, and I didn't have too many counters I found in a lot of the matches. So I would suggest taking it. Just be weary of playing it in the first little bit until you kind of understand what they have in their deck and if they have an arrows or fireball, and then try and play out a cycle so that they have nothing to defend. So that's kind of another one that I noticed. Also, Raged, the Lumberjack as well is a great option too. Great for the defensive, great for an offensive, especially if you can get the minor in the Rage. Does quite a bit of damage then if it's uncontested. So in this case, I'm going to let this video go a little bit. We're going to explain a bit just as I'm going through, and then we'll get to the tip as it comes in later on, which is going to be just kind of how to stop the minor, where you should put your defensive cards when stopping the minor. And we'll get a little bit into minor tactics later on, but I'll do it briefly. So here you're going to see I did a bit of a counter against those E-barbs, pushed with the hog. And in this case, what you're going to want to do is, I'm actually going to pause this for a sec just so it makes a little bit of a visual. So where you saw the minor get dropped, that's a pretty good location if you're going to drop the minor. I didn't see, to my recollection, I didn't see any tornado, so you're not going to have to really worry most likely about where you place it around the tower for the minor. But generally, that's a pretty good location. It stops the tornado from pulling. Generally, I'd have it a little bit higher up towards the top right corner of my tower there. But it's a good location where the tornado won't pull it to the main tower, so you don't have to worry about activating it. And yeah, other than that, that's generally where I'd put it if you have a location to drop it. Now, once you start to know and you start to play against the minor more frequently like I do, most players will play it there, so you're going to want to drop, as far as the defensive tactic, you're going to want to drop your troop that I mentioned earlier, the 3 elixir or lower troop, there to stop the minor. So in this case, it was the guards. The guards are going to take the minor out quickly. If you can get it in early, the minor will actually attack those troops instead of the tower, but worst case scenario, it won't do too much damage and you'll be able to stop it. So I suggest that's how you're going to defend against it. Drop the Goblin Gang, your goblins, your guards, whatever card you chose. It's your 3 elixir ground troop around that area most of the time. Unless you see them drop somewhere else, then you're going to want to drop that on the second or third time. But we'll get into that in another tip. So this one's going to be a bit longer of a replay, and it's just because I want to show the repetitiveness of the minor location-wise when you drop it. So in the previous replay, I explained kind of how to stop it with the guards, for example, or a lower 3 elixir troop. So when you're on the offense and you're using the miner, you're going to want to also counterplay the person who's going to be doing similar thing like I would, for example. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to be dropping the miner in different locations around the tower every single time. Sometimes you can bait them if you know they're pretty crafty. They might anticipate that, so then you can drop in the same location. But most of the time, don't drop the miner in the same spot every single time because it gets very easy to defend. In fact, most of the time, unless I know the player I'm playing is really good, or if I'm playing on my ladder decks where I know that they should know how to play the miner, I will drop my 3 elixir troop always generally in the same location so I can stop the miner because they're going to drop them in the same location most of the time. Again, when you start to play a little bit more advanced players, you'll start to notice that they'll drop it in different locations. So keep that in mind, and actually this replay, you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to actually speed through this just a tad until we can get to that miner card, which is going to be coming up. So this is going to be the first one that you're going to see dropped. So as you can see there, I dropped my goblin gang in the spot where I thought the miner was going to be dropped, and they went exactly there, and as a result, they hit the goblin gang instead of the tower. So we're going to actually speed through a little bit quicker, again at 2 times the speed, and you're going to notice that out of 3 times, they dropped the miner in the exact same spot 3 times, and I figured they were going to do that on the second time, so you're going to see me again stop the miner once it gets a little bit further here. You know what, I'm going to actually slow this down a little bit. So again, you're going to see me drop there. Miner doesn't damage the tower, exact same location as well. Goblin Gang is actually really great because it actually spreads out a little bit more, so you get a little bit more of the tower covered. So even if you're not in the exact location, which you'll see on the third one, you're still going to be able to actually stop the miner from doing any damage. So here, 1 tower's down, second one's nearly down. I mean, this game's pretty much over with 30 seconds left, but you're going to see, again, I dropped the Goblin Gang in the exact same location. Miner doesn't do a single damage there on the tower. So rotate through where you're going to drop the miner around the tower. And you know what? For this one, we're just going to finish it off and then skip to the next replay. So in this 4th replay, it's not going to be really a great example, but it does show kind of the idea of what you want to do. And this is something that you're going to want to consider when playing the miner in a push. So this one's going to be kind of like an offensive tactic with the miner, and you're going to want to use it to help your push go forward. And you're going to be using the miner predominantly as a defensive component, meaning that it's going to be used to take out a troop specifically that's attacking your tank. So in this case, it'll be the golem for me, but it could be a giant or any other tank you do want to push. And then it's going to lock on ideally to the tower after that. And like I said, this replay is not going to be a great example of it, but it will show somewhat of an idea, which then you can ideally maybe use it towards your future replay or your future challenge. So I'm going to slow this down because I'm not sure if it's on this push or if it's another one later on. In any case, the Dark Goblin and the Magic Archer are pretty good combos, pretty good range. In this case, I chose them because I knew the Royal Recruits were going to be I'm going to be facing them, especially with my Golem. I chose that, so it was a good option as far as coverage and taking out some of those kind of like more spam troops with the splash damage. So here you're going to see the Goblin barrel get dropped. I'm going to use my bar barrel to stop that. I'm going to use the miner in this case, just more defensively stop that Musketeer because it would have done a decent amount of damage on my tower. So going to let the elixir slide a little bit and get close to filling up. Not going to worry too much about the Spear Goblins until I saw that Bandit, and that's when you're going to see me drop those Goblins with the Ice Whiz. Again, just kind of trying to buy a bit of time for the double elixir, and if you get a Golem, that's what you're going to want to do unless you can get a good counter. Otherwise, try and hold out to the double elixir and then do your big push, which you're going to see me start to try and time with around 20 seconds and drop from the back, so we'll be close to around that range. They're going to drop the Royal Recruits with a 4 and 2. I believe it's on this push you're actually going to see me try and use the miner. Like I said, it's not a great replay, but it gives you an example. Going to use the bar barrel. That's going to at least do a bit of a push on the right side there. And drop the Magic Archer on the left. Dark Goblin. So here I'm actually going to pause this for a sec, because this kind of is going to show what I mean. So what you're going to see is that Musketeer, the tower and the Musketeer are both locked onto the Golem. So this is going to be my push here. The Royal Recruit's on the back, but I'm not worrying about them because the Magic Archer and the Dark Goblin are locked onto them. What you're going to want to do, and this can be also an aerial push you can do the miner with as well, when say you have a musketeer or something locked on to your your lava hound, you're going to drop the miner to take out tactically the musketeer in this case. So I'm going to drop it over there to help hopefully take out the musketeer, because once I do that, then their tower is still locked on to my golem. I have the Magic Archer and the Dark Goblin taking out the Royal Recruits from behind, and then ideally the Miner would lock in and go towards the tower to take that out as well. So that's kind of the thought process in this, and it does work pretty well, but it does take a bit of timing, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get it on this one. But just going to show the example. So you're going to see there, Miner's going to go to that Musketeer, starts to do damage. Unfortunately, it was still within range of the other tower, and the guards got in there as well. So not exactly what I wanted, but still going to get the end result. And on this one, we're just going to speed through at 4 times the speed to finish off this replay. And then we'll get on to the last tip, which is going to be, again, kind of more of a mid-tier advanced tactic, but it's going to work well. And that one's you're going to actually want to learn well for when you have the miner in this challenge, because it's going to help you get that 15 wins. So this 5th replay here and the final replay is going to be showing how to use the miner to do kind of really help your offensive push, but less so with your tank and defense and acting defensively like it was in the last replay. But in this case, it's going to be more making the miner tank for your troops behind, and also be kind of almost the driving force of the push. And you'll see a better example in the replay what I mean. So here you're seeing me go for the Lava Hound. I've noticed that a lot of the times in the decks, take the Lava Hound if you can. It depends on what card it's going up against, but most of the time I find they don't have a great defensive card for it. And even if they do, I mean, you can, depending on the other card, oh my god, depending on the other card you have as far as win condition, you might be able to drop it on the other side to do a second lane push. See, I muted them when I was playing, so this is quite annoying. Okay, so you see the mortar there. I'm going to drop the cannon cart because that's a pretty good defense for the mortar. And it also provides... ideally, it gets damage and then takes out the mortar. They had the Velk and the Witch in behind, so I had to drop the E-Dragon as well with the Wizard to actually be able to do a bit more of the push. So in that case, actually, what you saw right here was what I was kind of getting at. Oh, man. Bad time to pause. But yeah, so as you saw, my Wizard and my E-Dragon were starting to come on the tower, and I knew those were pretty good. I had Splash on one end. I had the kind of the Zap for to reset everything as well as far as where the aggro is on the defensive troops. So you see me drop the Miner in, so I could perfectly time it. Miner goes in, the E-Dragon zaps the tower and any other troops around that area. They turn their attack to the Miner, and then the Wizard's coming in with a great splash damage in behind. I mean, this worked out really well, and I got quite a bit of damage as a result of it. So right there, I was able to not only take out their troops, but get some massive damage on that tower, and that's pretty much illustrates exactly what you want to do with the Miner on a push like that. Have a bit of a defense. Now once those troops are starting to go towards their tower, you're going to drop the Miner in. Before, if you don't have anything to reset it, like I did with the Electro Dragon, but if you do have something to reset it, then you don't have to get it in before the troops get there. You just gotta really time it well, so it's kind of a more advanced Miner tip, I would say, I guess. So again, using the cannon cart, gonna drop that in. Unfortunately, you're going to see the Velk come in there, which is going to do a bit of damage to me, but that's okay. They're really trying to stop that push there, and I'm not too worried, so I'm just going to more focus on that right lane with the Lava Hound for now. Drop the poison. I kind of waited to see what they had, and once I saw that the Rascals were there, poison is going to take them out, and now the Lava Hound is uncontested on that one tower. And I can just stop that big boy there because he was going to do quite a bit of damage to my tower, so I used the Dark Knight there. Sorry, Dark Prince. What am I thinking? Alright, so what you're going to see, I'm going to let this replay go, kind of give you guys an example if you want to see a full replay of how I played, and maybe it'll help you along the way. But again, I've got the Wizard here, Electro Dragon here, kind of doing a similar style what I did on that other like large push there. Once I saw that Hog, I mean, he didn't have anything to stop my skeleton army, so that was a pretty good defensive tactic. And didn't want to use the miner on that left lane just because it was getting so close. Oh, I did. But I got it in late, and that's the thing. That's the difference. Timing's all that matters in that case. But I knew with 20 seconds left, the game was going to be pretty much over anyways. And drop the skeleton army there, and Q, and that's going to be the end. That was not my 15-win one, but it was, I think, on the higher end. Anyways, that's going to be it for that. As far as the... Yeah, that's it. But before I sign off, a big congrats to G&J for winning the giveaway that I had going on, and thank you everyone for who entered. Check out my Facebook page, Twitter, and Discord for all the latest channel information. Also, I want to know if you could do a specific card draft like this, what card would you want it to be? Would you want a Sparky draft or whatever card? I want to know what you guys think. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. This is going to be JAG, aka Leonidas, signing off. Peace out.